What would you get if you cooked up half a cup of StarCraft 2, half a cup of Field Runners, and then for taste, added just a pinch of Dark Souls 3? The answer to this question would probably be They Are Billions, an amalgamation of real-time strategy, survival, and tower defense that gets points off the bat for trying something a bit different. The game plays like a traditional RTS. As the commander, you build houses, combat units, and research buildings, while at the same time trying to balance resource collection and the economy. Unlike other RTS games though, you won't be playing against another faction or player civilization. Instead, you'll be trying to outlive the zombie horde. And make no mistake, the horde is coming. Some buildings allow you to create combat units, while other buildings let you extract resources from the environment. Special buildings will allow you to research technology that will upgrade all kinds of things, including wall strength, resource collection, and will also enable the creation of new, more powerful combat units. Expanding the base involves using military units to dispatch any lurking walkers, and cordoning off the new sections with defensive perimeters. This isn't the bulk of the zombie army though, not by a long shot. While continually coping with the zombies already present on the map, the game will periodically throw ever-intensifying waves of undead hordes at your camp, testing the defenses and pushing your strategy to breaking point. This is where the game switches from a traditional RTS to something more akin to a survival or tower defense game. The zombie hordes aren't an enemy faction, and there's no enemy base which, if destroyed, will end the game. Your only hope is to outlast the horde until a certain number of days have passed, and that means killing wave after wave using the best defensive strategy you can. Most zombies are slow and shambling, but as the hordes increase and expand, they grow faster and more unique. One in particular has a ranged sneeze attack that is particularly annoying. All in all though, I only counted 3 of these special zombie types, and it's a shame there isn't more really. In fact, if I have a main problem with this game, it's that this lack of variation spreads to a few of the game's other mechanics as well. There's no alternative factions to play as, only 3 early game combat units, with another 3 late game ones if you get that far, and you'll be building many of the same buildings over and over. This lack of variation is compounded further by the crushing difficulty. It's just so bloody hard. And this difficulty, I think, is going to be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you'll continually want to come back for more, angry and defiant in the face of failure. But on the other, this lack of variation in factions or different abilities means that you'll be repeating the same actions over and over again, in almost the same sequence every single time you die. And if I'm honest, that repetition really started to grate on me. In a sense, it sort of becomes a game of attrition, in the same way that Dark Souls does. Certain players are going to love that crushing difficulty and come back for more despite the punishment, but the same won't go for everyone. I like They Are Billions. It combines these pre-existing genres to create something a little bit new and a little bit familiar at the same time, but I don't think it's a game that has a lot of longevity. If I defeat it, I can't really see myself coming back for more without there being any big changes or additions to the gameplay, maybe some new factions or some combat units, or different ways to go around completing the same goal, so that I don't have to repeat the same actions every time. But don't let what I just said make you think that I think this is a bad game. I don't at all. I just think it's important to know what you're getting into before you buy. If you're looking for a more traditional RTS, then They Are Billions might not really satisfy that itch. But if you're looking for a bitingly hard challenge in a game that dares to do something a little bit different, then They Are Billions could be right up your alley. It's a worthy challenge, and for its price point, I really can't criticize it too much. It gets 7 grinded sore teeth from me.